Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexandra Duryea, and I'm here today conducting this interview on behalf of the Rising Leaders Committee of Kelly Cronenberg, for which I serve as the HR liaison, and on behalf of the Broward County Bar Association and the Young Lawyers section of the Broward Bar. Today I'm interviewing attorney Kyle Roberts, who's a candidate for the Florida Bar Young Lawyers Division Board of Governors as a representative of the 17th Judicial Circuit for Seat 1. Good morning. Tell me your name, what firm you're with, and your area of practice.
Good morning, Alexandra. Thank you for having me. My name is Kyle Roberts, and I'm an attorney at Conrad and Shear in Fort Lauderdale, and I currently practice in the area of commercial litigation.
And why do you want to serve on the Young Lawyer section of the Broward Bar?
I think my experience thus far, having been a lawyer for 5 years now, and being heavily involved in the local Broward County Bar Association and Young Lawyers section specifically, has positioned me to, excuse me, has positioned me to help those young lawyers in Broward County at the state level. I remember when I was a young lawyer, or I still am, excuse me, but when I was 1 or 2 years out, I really had no idea what I wanted to do long term. And going to these bar organizations really was a form of support. And so I would really like to be able to help those who also have no idea what they want to do or just need a little bit of guidance. And I really like that the Florida Bar Young Lawyers Division is devoted to helping attorneys in mental health and wellness and all other aspects of their practice and their career. And that's something that I really strive to help those around me, not just in the community, but also in the legal community, because I know how it was not knowing what you want to do or what the next step might be.
Can you tell me about some organizations that you've been involved with in our legal community and any projects you've assisted with?
Sure. So as I mentioned, I've been involved in the Broward County Bar Association's Young Lawyers section, and I'm currently on the board of directors for that. For the past about 3 years now, I have been. I'm also on the Federal Bar Association Broward County chapter board of directors, and I'm on the Florida Bar Journal and News editorial board. With regard to the Young Lawyers section of the BCBA, I've been involved in various committees on that. As far as the golf tournament, we have an annual charity golf tournament. Last year, we raised about $35,000 for the Nicholas Children's Hospital Foundation. And I know that I myself was able to help with the connections that I've built over these past 5 years in the community to raise about $8,000 of that. Excuse me, I have a little cough. I've been involved with it's called Lawyers for Literacy, and I'm the chair of that program with the Young Lawyers section. And what we do is we attend a different Broward elementary school every month, and we read to young children to promote literacy. Now, this is one of the greatest events that we have, in my opinion. It really, you get to connect with the preschool, kindergarten children and read them books that they're really excited to see somebody come into their classroom that they don't know, that they could ask questions to and just have fun. We were able to have a lot of our local judges come and support that cause with us. We have several that always show up and read to the children, and it's just a wonderful event that we have. There are several others, but those are just some of the few that I'd like to highlight.
Yeah. And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, wow. Hopefully a partner at my firm, and still involved in the legal community. I love being a lawyer because it's not just about practicing law. I think this is the type of profession that allows you to branch out and do different things that aren't necessarily just practicing law, drafting complaints or arguing at hearings. You get to build relationships outside of it. And so being involved in the community really helps you build those relationships. I think that it's an invaluable experience. Reading to the kids or meeting judges, meeting fellow attorneys that are in the same boat as you. It's just such a great opportunity, I think. And I hope in the next 10 years to be a partner at my firm and to be even more involved in the legal community.
And do you have a mentor or any thoughts on the role of mentors for young lawyers?
I wouldn't say that I have one particular mentor. I definitely make it a priority to reach out to more experienced attorneys and even attorneys at the same experience level as me, just to kind of see, what they're thinking or where they are in terms of their career. Um, Advice that I would give is don't be afraid to reach out to people. There are other lawyers in the community, judges that I've just reached out to and said, look, I really like the things that you do. I've looked into that person first, of course, but and I just asked them for advice. A lot of people, and I was one of those, is scared to reach out to others. And when you're a younger lawyer, you think, oh well, they might just ignore me, or they might, they don't know, they might not want to answer. But you have to just take that leap and try to reach out to people because there are numerous people that are willing to help as long as you ask. So I would say, don't be afraid. Reach out to people that are more experienced to you than you, and even those that have the same experience level, just to get a different perspective.
And you mentioned a little bit about mental health. How important is it for young lawyers to focus on their mental health? And what do you do to stay healthy?
I think it's very important. The Florida Bar Young Lawyers Division does a great job in promoting that and bringing it up, not just shushing it or leaving it for people to deal with on their own. Um, I think it's very important for young lawyers to keep a level head, to understand that it's a stressful profession, and there are things that you could do to overcome that, and to try and if you're suffering from any kind of mental issues or just issues that you are unable to deal with on your own, to reach out to somebody that can help you. For me, exercise is great. Or just taking a step back, taking a walk outside. I'm married and I have two young children. So, um, you know, unfortunately for you guys, I'm working at the office today, so you don't get to hear them screaming in the background. But, I take walks with my family and my dog, and it's just, separating from lawyering is really an important thing. You have to know when to kind of cut it off and do something for yourself to make sure that you are able to perform at the level that you need to when it comes to your work.
What's a day in your life like?
A day in my life, well, it has changed drastically since this pandemic, where we can't go to events and things like that. But um, as I mentioned, I have a wife. She's a nurse, and two young children, a soon to be 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. So I wake up and help. The kids are up, ready to go, running around the house. Try to have some coffee and get the day started. I generally get to work and just as most other people do, deal with the issues that I need to at that time. I try to reach out to friends or make sure that I'm attending some now virtual events, at least on a weekly basis, not every day, because you have to know how to balance your schedule as a young lawyer. You might want to attend a lunch event that the Broward County Bar Association hosts, or whatever county you're in, that bar association, or even the Florida Bar YLD. But you can't do that every day. You have to understand that you have to do your work and mix in these social / networking and continuing legal education events as appropriate. Um, Before the pandemic, I would go to our board meetings or our social events after work, but now those things they're all via Zoom. So sometimes you might join it on Zoom, on the call in your car on the way home. And generally, then after work, I go home and I try and spend time with my family. Throw some exercise in there somewhere. But as a 5-year lawyer with a young family, it's definitely, you have to prioritize your time. Excuse me. Uh, but I love being a lawyer. It's great.
And is there anything else from your platform statement that you'd care to share?
Um, I think just my experience so far. Like I said, I don't mean to harp on this, but the fact that I've been a lawyer for 5 years now, I have gone through the first year stage, second year stage, and so on. Um, I know what it's like to struggle in the beginning because you don't even know what you're doing as a lawyer when you're brand new. And then, a couple years in, you're starting to learn what it's like to actually be a lawyer, getting involved in the community, making connections. I think the connections that I've made over the years, and just personal connections, meeting people, whether it's fellow young lawyers who are on the board of directors with me on the young lawyer section, or whether it's judges or just other lawyers or non-lawyers in the community. Those type of relationships that you build as you go on in your legal career are really important to to success. I think it's just something that when you're planning an event, if you have others to reach out to maybe support that cause and donate to it, or if you want to just bounce an idea off somebody, I think it's really a really valuable thing to have. And I hope to be able to serve the Young Lawyers Division, the 17th Circuit, particularly for seat one. And I think that the experience that I've gained thus far in my legal career would be really beneficial to helping the young lawyers in the state of Florida. I think a lot of what we do on the local level, it definitely is helping lawyers, but we focus a lot on the community, the non-legal community, as I said, with the Reading to the Children, the golf tournament that we donate money to a non-legal cause generally. Those things are amazing, but the Florida Bar YLD really focuses on lawyers, right? Young lawyers. So being able to help people that just aren't sure or need some advice, and putting programming out there that really helps them, even if they're not asking, is something that I really look forward to.
Well, thank you so much. I think it's really important and helpful to have everyone be able to get a little inside look at your life and things that you're doing.
Of course. Thank you very much for having me, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you, and good luck to you.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.